Hey guys, so here's the challenge with Cypress that I haven't been able to find a resolution until recently. Then I saw this really cool issue post about retryable before block. So let's say you have this test, right? And if it is one it block and you want to do something like you want to, let's say the test fails and you want to retry, right? Only if it is before each, it will rerun on retries, right? Now, if this is a before block, it won't rerun on retry. So only the it block will run, the before block will skip, right? So this is okay to use before each if there's a single it block, but if there are multiples of this, it's going to be a real pain because then before each is going to have to run for this one and this one. And sometimes you don't need that. Like sometimes what might be happening is you're seeding the database and it's lots of API calls. It may take a little while. And you just want to run that. But then let's say this all this is not very stable. Let's say you're maybe reaching like external services that may not be super stable. And then you want that to retry when things don't work, right? So this is a solution for that. Now I lost the link where I got the code. But I got the code because I know I would lose it. So I will just paste the code here and let's call this. You can put it anywhere, but this won't be a Cypress command. It's just going to be a function. Retry before, let's call it that. And where do I have this thing? Here we go. Yeah, I thought it was really good, so I just copied it right here. And that, let's just paste it. All right. And I should just return a void, I think. Yeah, function returns a void. So this is the code, right? And it's pretty well commented, but basically, if the test fails, it flips the switch. So the before each doesn't act like a before each, it acts like a before. It's pretty smart actually using this code. And then the logic here. And so we keep that open and let's see if we can make that work. So we'll just have a new spec. Call this one, don't save. Um, we'll call it retry before. Okay, and undo this stuff. There we go. All right, so now let's just put it on the right side here so you can see the code. Okay, so let's just have a test for retryable before. Okay, and we are definitely going to need two it blocks. Um, all right, and a second it block. Okay, now how about we test something like this, right? So um, we could keep the number of times things retry, and we could perhaps verify that, right? So let's just have a variable for before counter, and then we start at 0, right? And then we need a retryable before, right? So let's say like this is like your before, same thing, right? And then oop, 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 and let's say we're just doing a site visit just like the other test, right? And we just want to keep track of how many times the before is running. And then within the test, we're going to verify that. So um, the first time it runs, it's going to, before counter is going to become 1. So we want to make it fail, right? So we could say before counter to be at least 2. So this is going to fail the first time it runs, and it's going to retry. So before counter is going to be set to 2, right? And so we'll just say log the test should fail initially and pass on retry, right? And then in the test 2, the before counter is going to be 2. So we're just going to say expect before counter to equal 2, right? Because I mean, this is like a super anti-pattern. Test 1 depending, test 2 depending on test 1. But to be able to like show that this is working, I think it's good. uh, sure pass. Right? Like on this, it will pass on initial. So if the retro before is working, then that should be all good. All right. So let's see. So we want this, yeah, to fail perfectly. It failed in the first attempt. And by the way, I set the retries to. Okay, I should be setting this to two. I think I said it before and I saved it. All right. So let's see it. Okay, we have to set it to one maybe. On yeah, we have to set it to one because it fails once. So like this is kind of confusing, right? Like if it is one, that means it's going to retry. Uh, but anyway, so attempt one fails, right? And then it sets the default counter one up, and then becomes two, right? So this is perfectly what I'm looking for, right? But like if we do a normal before, right, this will not happen, right? So yeah, this is the shortcoming with the before blocks. If we do a before each, see, yeah, so the first one it will retry, but see, I don't want it to retry. I don't want this code. Like the first one retries and works, right? But in the second test, like I don't want to have run this before block. That's the whole gimmick here. Like I don't want this hook to run for every hit block. I just want it to run once. So when you have a certain thing requirement like that, and in the real world, I have so many. Uh, I think this is a good one. So I'll just push this and share the link. Uh, perhaps this retry before. Yeah, this could like maybe not the test, but this could totally become a part of the template. That's all. Thanks for listening.